Well, hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm not quite doing a sew along, but you can sew along with me. What I am doing is testing a pattern out for Mama J Enterprises, aka Andrea. So I'm testing her pattern out and I'm giving her notes on things that I may find on the pattern, that anything that may help. I am looking at this as a beginner perspective, which I'm not a beginner sewer or a beginner quilter. At this point, I'm now a year and some months in on quilting, but I have been sewing for a very long time. So what I have done is I have cut all of my fabrics out. I'm not going to show you everything, but this is my bin of fabrics. I have the pattern here. This is not a free pattern. It will be a paid for pattern once it has been tested. I will have Andrea or Mama J's Enterprises Facebook link down in the description, or their YouTube. I think it'll be their YouTube link down in the description of the video, so you can join her sew-alongs, find out anything about her that you would like. So right now, all you're going to be able to do is see me sew. Now, I have broken this down into like one page at a time, and how she has her pattern done is in blocks. So I am going to start on the first block. And that is going to require me to get my fabrics here, and we can just get started. Y'all are probably going to see me looking like this in several videos, because I have already made several videos today. And what you're going to see me do is lay fabrics out as to how I need them. And that is going to be okay, because I'm going to just stack them up here. Now this will be part of my first block. I'm only going to do it in block increments. This first page has 5 blocks. So this is the first row of the first block. And all I'm going to do is sew everything at 1/4 of an inch. And her seam, she does have her seams pressed open to eliminate bulk. Now, I don't normally press my seams open, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. Now, I'm just going to, I don't know, I may do the whole row straight across, because it really is easier to do a whole row and put it together. And then press it, because that way I can press it one direction and the next row press the next direction. So I've got my first 6 squares. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a continuous stitch on these guys, so we don't have to chit chat about the pattern, even though I think it is absolutely adorable. It's going to be very, very cute, a very festive, and you can make it whatever you want. If you see this and you like it, then I would say check out Mama J Enterprises for when she has it available. And y'all, on this, I am smashing my stash. This is using, everything I'm using on this was in my stash, every bit of it. And I like doing that. I like using up fabrics. I think I've used up all of the blue. The blue and the white you see, I think I used every bit of that. I used the blue on my Unchained Gelity, and the white is the end of a bolt. So I actually used everything on that bolt, which, when I say everything, I think I had like 1.5 inches left on that bolt after I did this. You know, that was all that was left of that fabric. Guys, it is, let's see, what is today? I know the game is on. So I just talked to my daughter-in-law, and her mom and stepdad are at the game. And I know it's televised, so I don't really watch football. Not that I don't like it. I just don't really watch it a lot. I'd rather be at the game. to watch it. So, you know, I know, oh, so now we have this in a red. And I have to make sure I'm using the right red because, like I said, this is all stuff that was in my stash. And I know this red that I'm using now, it was actually intended for a different quilt, but I really didn't like the pattern that... I didn't really pick the pattern out. I was just told, oh, that goes great with this pattern, but I didn't care for that pattern. I like my patterns to have a design to it. Even though I like a scrappy quilt, I still like it to have some kind of design element to it. And the pattern that I had, I didn't really like it. And then I think I had a layer cake is what it was. But then I was just like, well, I don't know that I want to make that quilt. Now, I do have a lot of this red left, so I'm still going to be able to make a quilt out of it. I had purchased it for backing. Yeah, this is going to be funny if I sit here and I just continuous stitch everything on the first page. But I really do like knocking out my stash, because I do have a lot of fabric, and I have a lot of nice fabric. I mean, really cute fabrics. So that, you know, when I said smash my stash in 2024, this is what I had in mind. You know, I think I have a lot of patterns with all of the fabric. I hope I did that correct. Hope that's the correct side. This grunge, sometimes you can't tell. Right, yeah, I did. I did the correct side. Sometimes you can't tell the correct side to use on it or not. But I hope everyone's day has started out really great. I've had a really good day today. I had my grandson this morning. So yes, it is Saturday. I pre-record everything for Sunday because the only thing I may record on a Sunday is my updates. And sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I do them on Saturday night as well because I try to take Sunday off. But right now I'm just clipping these. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the first row of this. So I know all you guys can see is my sewing table, but that is okay. Hey guys, I'm sorry if I don't get my throat clearance edited out, but I'm still fighting with a little bit of that. And it doesn't help that it was 59 this morning and after lunch 80. I mean, you know, we got to just go on and get everybody sick, you know. Okay. So what I'm doing now is making rows of 4. And then I'll be making rows of 8 because I'll put the 4 and 4s together and make rows of 8. As I call it, I'm growing my rows. My rows are growing. And it's really great when they're all the same color because then I can just throw those together. And I don't have to worry about which one is on which side. So guys, we are just sewing today. I'm going to give y'all about an hour today. Hopefully an hour. Because I'm not going to do any pressing. I'm just going to be doing sewing to see how much of this I can get done. Of this pattern that I'm testing. I believe the quilt, let me see if there is a size on it. I think she has a size on it. Finished 76 by 88. So I'm thinking that is what it's supposed to be. And that's a good size quilt. My grandbaby's going to love this. They going to have a big old Santa gnome. I had my grandson today, y'all. Oh, my goodness. I was just born to be a grandma. Oh, my goodness. And then I talked to my daughter-in-law, and I could hear my granddaughter in the background, and we were talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and talking about the food for Thanksgiving, and she was like, do I need to bring anything? And I'm like, well, no one has ever brought anything when I have Thanksgiving dinner at my house. No one, ever. So I was like, well, if you want to, you can. She's like, well, I can make the dressing. And I'm like, that is fine with me. Because dressing is one of those things for me. Sometimes it may come out and sometimes it may not. Now, like, the weekend is not over yet. And I may do this tomorrow evening. But I have some cranberries that were in my freezer. And I need to make room in my freezer. And I pulled them out and I got them thawed out. I'm going to be making some cranberry, jellied cranberry sauce. And then I'm going to be making, on Facebook, there's a recipe that's going around. And it's the Christmas jam or something like that. I can't really recall. I mean, it's so much. Let me see which one I'm supposed to be on. Now, how in the world did I mess that one up? I already messed up, y'all. I did them wrong. My blue's supposed to be right there. I put these two together wrong. That's okay. I'll just take them apart and put them back together right. Sometimes that happens when I'm talking. But anyway, we were talking about desserts. And I know my aunt is probably watching. And Aunt Betty, we talked about your dessert, how it is not Thanksgiving without your dessert. And y'all, my aunt, she makes, and I mean, it is so simple. Everybody makes it, I think, an ambrosia salad. I don't know what it is about ambrosia salad. I love it. Now, like, my little sister can't eat it because it's got coconut in it, and she's allergic to coconut. So now I can put these two together. And I love the ambrosia salad. Now, my daughter-in-law, she asked me, she's like, do you make that cranberry dessert? And I'm like, cranberry fluff, because that's what I make. And I'm like, well, yeah. She said, well, it's just like the pistachio thing. And I'm like, well, I don't do the pistachio. I think my sister eats the pistachio one, but I don't. Okay, it looks like these are all the same color, so I am good on that. And, but we were talking about everything, and my son, she's like, well, your son, he wants one thing. And I'm like, I know, green bean casserole. She's like, yeah, and he wants it with the French green beans. I'm like, now, I don't know why he would think French green beans, because I have never made string bean casserole with French green beans. So that will mean I will have to go buy French cut green beans, because my green beans are homegrown in a jar that I canned. But I do plan on making my cranberry sauce this weekend. I'm going to make some jellied cranberry sauce because nobody in my family will eat it with the berries in it. But they don't realize that it's going to have the berries in it. They're just going to be pureed down, and they'll eat it. We'll just let them have a surprise. So now, since all of these are the same color, I know exactly where it goes. This one here, I had to check and see the placement because I had 3 blues on one side and 2 blues on the other. So I had to see where it went. And it looks like I almost have one whole row done. Now I know this one starts off with a blue, white, blue, white. And it ends with all the blues. We were talking about that, and I was telling her, I'm like, well, I guess I could get my husband to do a turkey in the oilless fryer and kind of fry a turkey. And she's like, well, I don't like turkey. I don't eat turkey. And I'm like, well, because I've always done a spiral ham also for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We've always done it because we have some that don't eat turkey. Okay, guys. My first row, I'm going to lay it over here and get started on my second row. So I told her, I said, well, what I may do is just do a turkey breast for me because I like turkey, and, you know, somebody else may like turkey. And then we'll do the ham with the dressing. She's like, well, we've always kind of done potluck. Well, that's not how I grew up. We didn't. As we've gotten older, we've kind of done potluck when we go to my sister's house. But, you know, growing up, that's not how we did it. My aunt, like, made everything. And, you know, I think it's just not that it's bad food or anything. I think it's better to have, like, a traditional meal. And then, you know, like your turkey, your dressing, your cranberry sauce, your green bean casserole. What we call it is granddaddy corn, but it's like a corn casserole. A corn casserole, you know, English pea salad, a salad, you know, whatever your menu would be, instead of all these individual little pieces. Because I'll tell you what, sometimes we have butter beans and cornbread for whatever it is. So, y'all, I'm going to count these pieces out real quick and be right back with you. But anyway, how we do it, we would just have like a set thing. And I don't know, I guess maybe if my husband always tells me I shouldn't just be the only one cooking everything. He's like, I don't know why you do this to yourself. You cook for hours and days, and they're here for 30 minutes and then leave with all the food. I'm like, I really don't care. That's what I do it for. But I'm hoping, you know, now with the grandbabies, that the older kids would want to visit with one another, because they are getting older. And I don't know. I hope they want to stay a little while, and I have the day after Thanksgiving off. Maybe I could talk them into letting the grandbabies stay with me. Or maybe they could even stay. My daughter-in-law, she's like, I don't know what your son's problem is. He don't ever want to stay over there. I'm like, probably because he doesn't realize that I have that bedroom set back up as a bedroom. And it does not have a twin bed in it. It does have a double bed in it. And it's just going to be the two of them. My grandbaby going to be sleeping with her Grammy. I mean, my grandbaby be sleeping with me. Maybe. Maybe I could convince that. She is definitely a mama and daddy baby. It took her a little while to reacclimate to my son after he got back home from deployment. And I think that was really hard on him. Emotionally, I think it tore him up that she didn't know who he was, that she only knew him through, like, the phone. And I think that affected him. Because she didn't know who he was. She would not let her mama walk out of the room from her, even when her daddy was right there. She would not do it. But I think that, you know, that she's kind of reacclimated to that now. And she was a daddy's girl before he left, and oh my goodness, she is stuck on him like dirt. She loves her daddy. Loves her mama too. And I see the dynamic between them because her mama's a stay-at-home mom and my daughter isn't a stay-at-home mom. She works. And I see the different dynamics between the children. My grandson, he's used to going to a babysitter. He's used to being around other children. And it's so funny. My daughter-in-law, she had called me today to let me know that she had just had a play date with a child that wasn't her cousin, wasn't related to her. And she's like, and she was nice. And I told her, I said, well, I think the reason her and my grandson clash so much is because they feel like they're competing with one another, because when they're around my daughter, they're both competing for my daughter's attention or her, you know, my daughter-in-law's attention. So it's just like, it is so funny to watch though. Now, my grandson is scared of my granddaughter because she always throws stuff at him. And, you know, they're just little babies. I don't think they realize that's what they're doing. But I think he's learning to throw things now. Like, he'll pick a ball up and drop it or throw it on the floor to hear it bounce, and he'll just cackle laughing. Now, he'll be 10 months on the 22nd. And that baby is already trying to walk. Now, my granddaughter, she started walking at 11 months. And today, my grandson had the two same exact toys in his hands. And I told my husband, I said, that's the same two toys that my granddaughter had in her hands when she started walking. And I told him, I said, I wonder if he's going to do the same thing. He's going to want to play with both of the toys and can't, and will have them both in his hands because she walked with them in her hands like that. And just went walking across the floor. Just as happy as she could be. She looked like a little ape going across the floor. But she does not like the playpen that we have. We have one of the gated play yards. It's huge. That covers over half of my living room. My grandson loves it. He'll get in that thing and play. He played himself till he just fell over and fell asleep today. Oh, it looks like I did the wrong side on that. Did I do the wrong side? No, I didn't. Huh. But he played so hard. I mean, he just wore himself out today. I have these little riding horses. And one looks like a little rocking horse and one looks like a puppy dog. And he likes to play with them. I think they said my granddaughter is scared of them. But she don't like the play yard. Especially if it's zipped up. Because it's got a little zipper thing. And it'll flap open and look like a little door. You know, where they can go in and out. Well, she don't like that being zipped up. She does not want to be zipped up in there. She loses her mind. Now, her mama and my daughter both got in there. When we put it together, they both came over and they put it together, and she screamed until her mama got in there with her. She was not about to be in there, but she wanted to get out of it. But like I was saying before, my house really is not safe because of all the renovation stuff we've got going on. So that's when we got that. But this weekend, that stuff is changing. It's going out in the shed, or it's going in the garbage. Because I'm just not. I'm tired of it there, and it's going to be cleaned up. I still have Christmas decorations from last year that hadn't got put away because I want to go through my decor closet because it is so full. But I have 3 Christmas trees in that closet. I have a little Santa boot Christmas tree. I have a pencil tree. It's a really thin tree. And then I have a small Christmas tree that I used as a display at a trade show that I love. And I use it in here. I use it in here. So, you know, I could, I don't know. I don't want to store nothing else in here. I want my trees in here. I don't want that stuff out in the outdoor shed. Even though the outdoor shed, you know, it is protected. It's sprayed and all that. You know, I know we don't have bugs or anything like that out there. But you just don't want to put it all out there, you know. Because when it gets time for Christmas, it's going to be wet out there. And I'd have to go out there with rubber boots to get everything out. My wagon wouldn't roll real good. So it might as well just stay in here. But I do have to downsize the amount of Christmas decor that I have. And I think all of these are just blues. So we will just attach all the blues. But right now, going through that is not my goal. I will go through it when I pull out for Christmas. I'll pull everything out, and what I don't use will go to the donation center. I've already done a lot of donation of Christmas stuff, Christmas wrap, Christmas bags, boxes. I just don't use all of that anymore, so it just kind of needs to go. I mean, I still have the Christmas decorations I used in my first apartment. When I had my very first apartment. So, you know, that decor is old. It needs to be replaced. I've always loved Christmas, though, so I have a lot of Christmas ornaments. Because I kind of do different. I think I just got off. I think that got off. It did, and I'm taking it out. Even though it's not a lot, any little bit is enough to throw a pattern off. So if your fabric is not perfectly lined up, it can throw it off, and I don't want to do that. I want it to be perfectly lined up. I want that edge perfectly even. And y'all, and when I'm in the live today with Tammy, someone had shared that AccuQuilt has 40% off. I don't know about y'all, but I like that deal. I need to go look at it tonight because I need some more acrylics for my studio. I have an AccuQuilt studio, and I need to get some more acrylics because mine are kind of wore out, and that can make a difference. When I tried using my studio once before, I was doing a demonstration, I guess, and someone told me that I may need to clean my dies. That I don't know how to do it, but they told me to go on their website and it showed how to do it, and I still have not done it. What I have been doing is I just take like a Q-tip and go around it, the die, to make sure there's nothing on it. I think my biggest culprit, though, is that my acrylic, I am going to use some of my scrap fabric and kind of cut it down because I do have another die coming in. I got the notice, I think, yesterday or today. Was it today? It might have been today. That my die had been shipped. I ordered a die for my studio. And instead, I already kind of have one of this shape, but this is one for multiples to be cut out at one time, which is going to be helpful with when I have scraps and strips and stuff. I can put them all together, you know. Okay, so we got 1 and 1. Okay. Because I want to start getting my scraps cut down into more usable pieces. And I actually have some boxes that I'd already started doing this, but I was doing it by hand. I don't want to do that by hand. So guys, I am already almost finished with my second row. And we are only 41 minutes in. That is amazing. This is a very cute little... I know y'all can't see what it is, but it's called Christmas Gnome. It is so cute. So cute. And I'm doing my best to not show pattern and cuts and sizes and stuff like that, because I do respect the designer's work. You know, it's hard work designing patterns. So I would never want to compromise the designer's work. Okay, so let's see. This is my row number 2. And now row number 3, I'm going to pull my fabrics and bring you right back. Okay, so I think I have all my pieces here. And I can just start sewing again. But anyway, I don't want to compromise the designer's pattern at all. So I do this the best I can. So we're just going to chit chat and not do a sew along. But you can sew along with me. You don't have to do this with me. But hopefully after it is tested, I know there is a wall hanger, and then there is the quilt. I'm doing the quilt, and someone else is doing the wall hanger. So there'll be someone testing both of them. The designer does like to have 2 people test her patterns, you know, each pattern. And but this one here, I think it's just going to be 1 for each. And I'm already making little notes of things that I find. But so far, the pattern has been great. It's pretty easy going. I mean, very easy to put together. You see, I'm able to sit here and chit-chat and sew with you guys. And once again, smashing the stash. Some of these fabrics, I mean, straight out of my scrap bin. This is, this one here's a fat quarter I had. This one's a fat quarter I had. A fat quarter I had. This was some scraps out of the Missouri sort from a charm pack. These were some scraps out of Missouri Star. This was a fat quarter that I had. This was some yardage that I had right here. I mean, I had a lot of this. I had everything, literally everything. I did not have to buy a single thing for this quilt. I am probably going to do the binding in the red fabric because I do have a lot of that. I could do it in the black. I'm looking over here. It's just according to what I have enough of to do the backing. I may do the backing in the red and the binding in the black. I don't know. Or I could do the, I don't know how much, I don't know what I'm going to need of, you know, what I'll need to back it. And I may back it myself. Who knows? Who knows? I'm trying to get projects 100% complete right now. I have one thing done. One thing completely done. I say completely done. It is done. But I want to make it to where I can hang it on the wall. So I do need to add, I'm going to hand sew some sleeves on it. So I can hang it up. And then I am probably going to go ahead and trim and bind my pressed flowers this week. I will need to put a sleeve on it and a label because I do want to, I'm probably going to put it in the quilt show. It has to be done by a certain date, which is sometime this next week. And I thought, what better way, you know, going and get a quilt out there, you know. I love that quilt. It's beautiful. I had done some motor blockheads that I really liked. And I have seen some blocks that I really love. And I may just take those blocks and make a quilt out of them. I did get some of the French General fabrics to do the motor blockheads in. So what I may do is, because I didn't know how much I was going to need of anything. I think like one of the fabrics, I think I got like 5 yards of one fabric. But I think what I'm going to do is find a couple of the Moda Blockhead blocks that I really liked and make a couple of the blocks so I can, you know, do an alternating or something like that and make a quilt out of it. I'd like to make a bed quilt because since I've started quilting, it just makes me remember and think back to growing up. And I remember in the winter time, we always had our sheet and then a bed quilt and then our bedspread. I do bedspreads. I do not like comforters. I don't know why. I like a bedspread. Probably because I can wash a bedspread. I just remember that, and I'm like, I really would like, you know, I want my grandbabies to know what that's like to have a bed cover, you know, for them. Now, I do have another quilt that I need to be making a label for as well, because it's going to be a gift. And that gift is going to be coming up really fast. And my great niece is having her 14th birthday. Well, her 14th birthday is November 9th. And she's gotten to the age where she don't want birthday parties. But I'm thinking I may make her a quilt because, well, I don't have time to make a quilt and have it done by then. But I have one of my scrap bags that has some ruby star fabrics in it. And I think it just looks like her. So I was thinking about making her like a string quilt out of that. But I don't know. I have several projects, you know, small day projects in mind for the very near future. So y'all will have to stay tuned for that. So if you're not subscribed, you may want to go on and click that subscribe button and that notification bell. So when I upload new content, you will be notified that it is out there. And also, if you think you are subscribed, just double check and make sure. I noticed this past week that several pages that I know I was subscribed to, I'm for some reason not subscribed to them anymore. So just for some reason, YouTube does that for you. It unsubscribes you to things, and I don't have any idea why. But, you know, if you think you're subscribed, go on and just double check and make sure, because you don't want to miss anything, especially coming up at Christmas. Y'all know. I did Vlogmas last year, and, you know, we talked about it on a live. I think Sean and I did. And we talked about, you know, Vlogmas, how a video was put out every single day the month of December. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know, now I'm almost a year. December will be a year that I've put out a video almost every single day. I've missed less than 5 days since December of putting a video out. And I think each time I missed, it was because I was pretty sick. I know one time I had pneumonia, and I might have missed a day or two maybe. But I try to not miss too many days. Because if you do, the YouTube algorithm throws you off. And I've noticed that with one of my channels that I watch. If y'all know Kristen with IC Starts Quilting, her algorithm got messed up. when she didn't post like every so many days. And it's hard to get it to where it puts them up on the For You page once that happens. And it really shouldn't matter because I'm subscribed to her. I love watching her, y'all. If y'all don't watch Kristen with IC Stars Quilting, y'all really should. She has just got the sweetest disposition about her. And she does absolutely beautiful work. I am hoping, crossing my fingers and hoping that she will have another retreat kind of close by, because I want to go to another one of her retreats. We had so much fun at the retreat. It was such a blast. Met so many people and really loved it. I did not get to go to the one that she had in the fall, but I did go to the one that she had at the beginning of the year. I believe it was the first weekend in February, I believe. So much fun. And it was in Quitman, Texas at Stitch in Heaven. Y'all, I'm telling you, that was fabulous. Fabulous. Well, guys, we are coming up on an hour almost. And when I say almost, 58 minutes. And I am almost done with my third row. It takes longer to get your fabrics picked out than it does to sew them together, I think. And y'all see how quick and fast and easy this is? Because I am, let's see, seriously, it's about to roll an hour, 59, because we're at 59 minutes. Let's see. Seeing if I can get that third row completely finished, if I can get it to line up. I have about 20 seconds. There we go. 1 hour. Yep, 1 hour. And we got 3 rows done in 1 hour. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on my Smash the Stash tester pattern sew along. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for showing up and watching my videos, giving me a thumbs up, leaving a comment. Really does help my channel grow, and I do appreciate it. But please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.